Welcome GRD122 to this little addendum video that's going to go over flattening vectors. And I did it in the last video. I had an issue and then I ended up rasterizing the layer in Photopea and using the eyedropper and filling in these things. And what happens is, let me just zoom in here. When you get really close in there, now I have rasterized text. And I really don't like that because I want to keep my text nice and clean like it was originally, like this is. You can see this is a lot cleaner when we worked with it in Photopea. And I had that issue, and there's actually a fix I found in Figma as far as flattening these letters. So let me just show you that real quick. I'm going to go back to Figma. And if you remember, it was regular text and it came in strange. And then when I turned it into outlines, by right-clicking, I'm using 2 fingers, and if you flatten it and you click on it, it gets these weird little overlaps. And then when it came in, it left holes there. It's bizarre, and I didn't find any fix for it or anything I could do with these weird little overlaps of the way it's creating paths. It's just bizarre. I don't know why it's doing that. And it's not Figma's main role to be working with vectors. It works with vectors nicely. But the nice thing about Figma is they have plugins. So what you can do to fix this, I'm going to undo this and put it back the way it was, just regular text. If you want to turn something into outlines but cleaner without those overlaps, you can go to plugins. Now, I already installed it and did it and tried it out. But if you go to plugins, you can just go search for plugins, find more plugins, and then type in, it's called Really Flatten Vectors. Now I already have it in there, so that's why it says run. I already installed it, and you just click on it and you say try it. You don't pay for it or anything. It just goes right into your account as you're logged in, and I have it in there already, so it works pretty good. So what you could do is if I click on this and I go to plugins and I run Really Flatten Vectors. Now you can see I have other plugins in here: Image Tracer, Vectorized Bitmap, Warp It for warping things that Figma can't do, that like Illustrator can do. You could sometimes find plugins to do that, and there's a whole community of plugins to do that. But anyway, Really Flatten Vectors, watch what it does. It flattens it, and there's none of that overlap stuff. So it won't be a problem when it goes to Photopea. You might say, well, oh, I already did it the other way. Now what? How do I get it back in? Like even myself, now I have this one. What would I do here? Well, here's what you could do. Let me just show you this. It's worth showing you. How would I get something back into Photopea? Well, it's hard to copy and paste it from Figma. You could do that from Illustrator, but it's a little harder to copy and paste it. What you could do is select this and go to Export. I'll go down here to Export and just click on the Export, and it has Export New and Improved. Select a format, select SVG, and I think they have some options for SVG. I don't think you have to do anything else other than make sure it looks transparent here, that you see a little checkerboard. So I'm just going to export this New and Improved, and as an SVG, I don't even know if you can change the name of it when you do that. I'm not sure if that'll do. Oh, it just went. Anyway, it's called New and Improved.svg. Now it's in my downloads. All right, let me just show you this. It's in my downloads. There's my downloads. New and Improved SVG. And then I'll go back to Photopea. Now, I don't want this one, but I'm going to keep it here temporarily because I may want to use that style. Because I have a style on that I already put a stroke and effects and all kinds of stuff on that. So I may want to keep that style just to use it, but I may want the vector. So what you could do, I'll close this up, is you could just go get the SVG, and you should be able to just drag it in. You could just drag it in, New and Improved SVG. You should be able to just drag it in. Now I'm not sure what layer it's on. Where is it? Here it is. And it's New and Improved. There it is, New and Improved SVG, and it looks good. It looks nice and clean compared to that. Now, what you could do is click on this one, the other one. Let me put on my transform controls here. I'm not seeing the box on it. Must have hit something. So transform controls, auto select, make sure that's on. Here's the New and Improved, the first one, and here's this one. I clicked on the background. Let me click on this again. There's the New and Improved, the one I just did. Now, what I'd want to do if I want this style, I could go here to my effects, or I can just right-click and go to Layer Style, Copy. And then I could go to the new one. Hopefully, it'll let me do it. And I'm going to right-click or 2 fingers and do Layer Style, Paste. And it applied that, and that looks pretty good. And now I'll just get rid of my first one and move this over here. So that's one way to kind of update it. it's after the fact. Otherwise, hopefully if you watch the video, maybe you could go and do that plugin before it. Maybe I'll put a note in the video so that you do that ahead of time. But that's one way to do it. You could bring it in as an SVG. It's a good format to take in one piece if it doesn't copy and paste. But that's one way to kind of update something if you need to. That works good. So that's called the Really Flatten plugin. Plugins, really flatten vectors. It works real nice other than just turning text into outlines. So hopefully you could do that as well. Again, I'm learning things as I go, and so will you. So we'll try to make this program nice and powerful for us as we work. So if we find things that work better and that solve some of our problems, that's a good thing. So anyway, that's the flattening those paths so they don't have any overlapping issues going on with them. So anyway, that's my addendum video for that.